ready to go for this tremendous Belmont Stakes. Everybody's in line, and they're off. Looks like the early lead goes to My Gallant. Yes, My Gallant going for the lead with Twice the Prince on the outside. Secretariat away very well, has good position on the rail, and in fact is now going up with the leaders. They're moving for the first turn. It is Secretariat. Sham on the outside is also moving along strongly, and now it's Sham. Sham and Secretariat are right together into the first turn. My Gallant has third behind them. Then it's Twice the Prince, and the trailer is Private Smiles as they go by the turn. Those two together, Sham on the outside. Sham getting ahead in front as they move around the turn with Secretariat second. Then there's a large gap. Make it 8 lengths back to My Gallant in third and Twice the Prince fourth. And Private Smiles is still a trailer. They're on the backstretch. It's almost a match race now. Secretariat's on the inside, by ahead. Sham is on the outside. They've opened 10 lengths on My Gallant, who is third by ahead, with Twice the Prince fourth. Then it's another 8 lengths back to Private Smiles, who is trailing the field. They continue down the backstretch, and that Secretariat now taking the lead. He's got it by about a length and a half. Still Sham, 10 lengths back. My Gallant, Twice the Prince. They're moving on the turn now. For the turn, it's Secretariat. He looks like he's opening. The lead is increasing. Make it 3 and a half. He's moving into the turn. Secretariat holding on to a large lead. Sham is second, and then it's a long way back to My Gallant and Twice the Prince. They're on the turn. Its Secretariat is blazing along the first 3/4 of a mile in 109 4/5. Secretariat is widening now. He is moving like a tremendous machine. Secretariat by 12. Secretariat by 14 lengths on the turn. Sham is dropping back. It looks like they'll catch him today as My Gallant and Twice the Prince are both coming up to him now. But Secretariat is all alone. He's out there almost a 16th of a mile away from the rest of the horses. Secretariat is in a position that seems impossible to catch. He's into the stretch. Secretariat leads his field by 18 lengths. And now Twice the Prince has taken second, and My Gallant has moved back to third. They're in the stretch. Secretariat has opened a 22-length lead. He is going to be the Triple Crown winner. Here comes Secretariat to the wire. An unbelievable, an amazing performance. He hits the finish 25 lengths in front. It's going to be Twice the Prince second, My Gallant third, Private Smiles fourth, and Sham, who had it today, dropped back to fifth. An amazing, unbelievable performance by this miracle horse. And look at Mrs. Tweedy. She's having the time of her life. She and Lucian Lauren, who own this most magnificent animal, who has today run the most sensational Belmont stake in the history of this race.
And they're off. For the lead on the inside now, Seattle Slew goes for the lead. He has the lead as they move through the stretch. Up on the outside, it's Sanhedrin along the inside. Run, Dusty, Run on the extreme outside. Spirit Level is moving up. They move for the first turn with Spirit Level on the extreme outside and Seattle Slew along the rail. Then it's Run, Dusty, Run alongside Sanhedrin, followed by Mr. Red Wing, then Make Amends, Sir, and Iron Constitution. They're moving on the turn. Seattle Slew by a half length. Spirit Level is second by 2. Run, Dusty, Run is third by a half. Sanhedrin is fourth by 2.5. Then Mr. Red Wing is fifth by 3 lengths. Make Amends is alongside Sir, and the final horse is Iron Constitution. They've gone the first 1/4 of a mile, 24 3.5 and 48 2 with Seattle Slew now to receive a challenge on the outside. It's Seattle Slew on the inside. Run, Dusty, Run and Spirit Level have both moved up alongside. It's Seattle Slew holding on, however, and now he pulls away to a length again. Spirit Level is second ahead, and Run, Dusty, Run is third. A gap of 4 back, and it's Sanhedrin in fourth. Mr. Red Wing is fifth. Then it's Iron Constitution moving to sixth. Sir, and Make Amends, 3/4 of a mile in 1:14. They're moving on the turn. Still Seattle Slew, and he has it by 2. Run, Dusty, Run and Spirit Level are battling together second and third. Beginning to close a bit, Sanhedrin is fourth and closer. Mr. Red Wing is fifth. Iron Constitution in a furious drive is driving along the rail. They're coming on the turn with Seattle Slew still the leader. Seattle Slew 1 mile in 1 1:38 and 4/5 now leads by a half. Still on the outside now, Sanhedrin has taken over. Then it's Run Dusty Run, swinging to the extreme outside iron, Constitution. In the stretch, here he comes, and he's opening it up again. It's Seattle Slew, and he's drawing clear of the field. Seattle Slew has 4 lengths on Run Dusty Run. It's Run Dusty Run in second and Sanhedrin third. They're nearing the finish line. It's still Seattle Slew, and he's opened it out to 4.5. Then Run Dusty Run and Sanhedrin.
Ninth meeting, Belmont Park, June 10th, 1978. The Belmont Stakes, 1.5 miles. Affirmed favorite.
Then Noontime Spender and Darby Creek Road. They move for the first turn. Affirmed has the lead by a half length. Judge Advocate on the outside in second by a half length. Along the rail, it's Alydar in third, followed by Noontime Spender and Darby Creek Road. They move into the turn, and Affirmed going along easily on the hand ride, 3/4 of a length. Judge Advocate tucks into second by a head, but Alydar won't settle for that and moves alongside, and it is Alydar who's going up now to challenge that pace. Then it's a gap of 3 lengths back to Noontime Spender, and finally Darby Creek Road. They went the first quarter slow, 25 seconds. They move to the backstretch. Affirmed managing the lead by 1 length. Alydar is a very close second by 3/4. Then Judge Advocate third by a length and a half, and Noontime Spender in fourth. Darby Creek Road is 6 lengths off the pace. 50 seconds for a half mile. Now we've got a speed duel beginning to develop. On the inside, Affirmed. On the outside, Alydar. And those two are letting out all stops. They're going on out together. Affirmed along the inside. Alydar on the outside. Heads apart as they move down the back stretch. Then they've opened 6 lengths on Noontime Spender and Judge Advocate. And the trailer is still Darby Creek Road. 3/4, however, went in 1:14. The pace is still slow. They're moving into the turn. Affirmed holding ahead in front, and Alydar on the outside is challenging again. It's Affirmed by ahead on the turn. Alydar is second by 4.5. Along the inside, Judge Advocate, Noontime Spender, and Darby Creek Road now beginning to pick up the pace. 3/4 went in 14, 1 mile in 37 and 2. The pace is increasing as they come to the head of the stretch. It is still Affirmed as they come to the quarter pole. He's holding on to a head lead. Alydar is outside of him and challenging that lead. The two are heads apart, and Alydar's got a lead. Alydar put ahead in front, right in the middle of the stretch. It's Alydar and Affirmed battling back along the inside. We'll test these two to the wire. Affirmed under a left-hand whip. Alydar on the outside driving. Affirmed and Alydar heads apart. Affirmed's got a nose in front as they come onto the wire.
Affirmed first, Alydar second.
And they're off. Aloma's Ruler on the outside is sprinting to the lead. High Ascent on the inside is alongside in second. Then it's Linkage in third, but Conquistador Cielo has moved up, taken lots of ground, racing very far from the rail. Conquistador Cielo alongside Aloma's Ruler, and Animal on the rail is right alongside those two. Then it's High Ascent, those 4 across the track into the clubhouse turn. It's a real battle for the lead with Animal on the rail in front by a neck. Conquistador Cielo on the outside is right alongside in second, now gaining some ground on Animal, and Conquistador Cielo gains the lead by a neck. Animal is second by 4, Aloma's Ruler is third, then Linkage on the outside is fourth, High Ascent on the rail 5th by 4. Royal Roberto in 6th, Cutaway is 7th by 3, Gato del Sol is 8th, then about 2 back. On the outside, La Jolie, the Illuminate, they're down the back stretch. The quarter in 23 and 4, the half in 47 and 1. It's an honest pace. Conquistador Cielo has the lead by 2. High Ascent on the inside is second and is gaining ground on Conquistador Cielo. Linkage on the outside is third by 2. Aloma's Ruler on the rail is fourth as Animal drops back into fifth. And then it's Estoril on the outside in sixth, followed by Gato del Sol, Royal Roberto, then Cutaway La Jolie, and Illuminate is 11th. 3/4, 112. They're now entering the far turn. High Ascent on the inside, Conquistador Cielo on the outside. Those two have now hooked up, but Conquistador Cielo maintains the lead by a half. High Ascent on the inside, second by a length and a half. Linkage on the outside is third by 3. Gato del Sol in fourth by 2. Estoril in fifth, and Aloma's Ruler. They're approaching the top of the stretch. The mile in 37 and 2. Conquistador Cielo has complete control of this field by about 5 lengths. Linkage on the outside, High Ascent on the inside. Those two now heads apart. Gaining ground on the rail is Illuminate. On the outside, here comes Gato del Sol, but they're far back. Conquistador Cielo, complete control of this Belmont Stakes, has the field by 15 lengths, maybe 20 lengths. Gato del Sol is second. They're all in line. And they're off. Along the outside is Canadian Factor with Barberstown High Honors very close at this stage. On the far, far outside, Deputed Testimony and Au Point. Au Point now gains the lead with Deputed Testimony in second. And Dixieland Band is third. Along the inside is High Honors, and Slew of Gold is right there in fourth. On the outside is Barberstown. Then Canadian Factor, Caveat, and Current Hope. Then it's Law Talk, followed by White Birch, Mega Turn, Balboa Native, and El Cubanazo is in 15th. They round the clubhouse turn, and leading the way is Au Point by about 3.5 lengths. Slew of Gold has now moved into second by about a neck. The winner of the Preakness Stakes on the outside, Deputed Testimony, is third by a half, and High Honors is very close in fourth by 3. Then it's Dixieland Band, followed by Barberstown. Then Princillian. Along the inside is Current Hope, and on the rail is Law Talk. Then it's Canadian Factor, about a length back to Megaturn, Caveat. Caveat is a horse that really comes from way back, and behind Caveat is White Birch. Then about 2 to Balboa Native, and El Cubanazo. The half has been run in 47 and 2. It is not really a fast pace. Leading the way down the backstretch continues with Au Point, still in front by a length. Slew of Gold is in second by a length and a half, and High Honors is third by almost 2 lengths. Then Deputed Testimony is in fourth by 3, followed by Barberstown, Dixieland Band, and Law Talk. Then it's Princillian, Caveat, Mega Turn, then Current Hope, White Birch. On the outside, Canadian Factor, then Balboa Native, and El Cubanazo remains in 15th. 3/4, 11 and 3. The mile and 36 and 2. The pace has begun to quicken as they round the far turn. And Au Point continues to lead the way. A lightly raced horse still has the lead by a half. And Slew of Gold on the outside is now gaining. It's Cordero moving Slew of Gold on Au Point. Right behind those two, High Honors. On the inside is Caveat. Caveat is not able to make up a ground on the inside. As Au Point moves out, Caveat gains on the rail alongside Slew of Gold. Those are the two favorites. Gaining ground on the outside, Barberstown and High Honors. Now Caveat gains the lead. Slew of Gold back into second. Then it's High Honors. Barberstown heads apart for third as Caveat has the lead by 3. Slew of Gold second. It's Caveat in front.
Okay, Jim, we have a few horses still to go into the gate. See behind the gate now, Ferdinand, winner of the Kentucky Derby, as John's Treasure is being loaded. Here's some of the action as they load this horse into the gate. It takes several assistant starters to do that, but it is successful. Ferdinand now goes in. There's Woody's horse. Danzig Connection. Imperial Spirit. Here of the Arkansas Derby in the slot. Rampage about to go in. Okay. They're all in line. It is now post time. They're all in line. And they're off. Mogambo is going for the lead. Surprisingly, on the outside, there goes a speed horse also. Danzig Connection has moved into second. Then it's Imperial Spirit, John's Treasure on the inside, then Ferdinand between horses. Again on the inside, Bobby Forbes. On the outside is Rampage, then Parade Marshal, Personal Flag, and Bordeaux Bob on the rail is in 10th. They enter the clubhouse turn. We'll soon see the quarter time for this race. 23-1. It is a fast pace. Mogambo has the lead by a bit more than a length, and it's Danzig Connection second by about 4. Then John's Treasure is third on the rail. On the outside, Imperial Spirit is fourth, beating a bit. About a length to Ferdinand, with Shoemaker on the rail, moving up also. The outside is Parade Marshal, about 3 to Bobby Forbes. Then Rampage, Bordeaux Bob, and a Personal Flag is now 10th. They're on to the backstretch, the half in 47-4. The pace has eased a bit. But Mogambo continues to lead by a bit more than a length. Danzig Connection on the outside is second by a length. Ferdinand on the rail is in third. Danzig Connection is gaining ground on the outside, only a half off of Mogambo. Also right there is John's Treasure alongside Ferdinand. On the outside again is Parade Marshal in fifth. Then Imperial Spirit, Bobby Forbes, Bordeaux Bob, Rampage, and Personal Flag. 3/4, 12-4. The pace is still slowing as Danzig Connection gains on the outside of Mogambo. They are now heads apart. Right behind them on the rail is Ferdinand with Shoemaker. Danzig Connection on the outside. Mogambo on the rail. Now it's Danzig Connection taking the lead. Mogambo is second by a half. Now Ferdinand has moved to the outside. Ferdinand is now taking second. Gaining ground. Farther out, John's Treasure. They round the far turn. The mile 38-1. Danzig Connection, Ferdinand, John's Treasure vying for the lead. Mogambo is back into fourth as they approach the top of the stretch. Danzig Connection has a neck in front. On the outside, Ferdinand and John's Treasure, they enter the stretch. Danzig Connection still leads narrowly. Ferdinand on the outside, challenging that lead. Farther out is John's Treasure. On the rail is Personal Flag moving into fourth as Danzig Connection now draws clear. This is going to be the fifth Belmont for Woody Stevens. John's Treasure on the outside of Ferdinand. Danzig Connection has the lead. It is Danzig Connection winning by a length and a half. Congratulations, Woody Stevens. Then a photo for place and show between John's Treasure and Ferdinand. Personal Flag was fourth in the 8th race, the Belmont Stakes here in New York. The time on the board, 2 minutes, 29 and 4/5 seconds. Back to you, Jim McKinney.
Unbelievable. That's the only word for it. Woody Stevens has won his 5th Belmont Stakes in a row at age 72. That's the Kwiatkowski, Henrik the Kwiatkowski, the owner, hugging Woody. It's something that has never happened in the history of the American turf, really. The man started this streak at age 68 at a time when he was talking about retiring. Now, my goodness, he may go on forever. 5 Belmonts in a row. For a trainer to even have 5 horses run in 5 Belmonts in a row would be an achievement. To win 5 in a row, well, you've seen it happen. The rider, Chris McCarron, and that is the first Triple Crown victory in the illustrious career of Chris McCarron, who came out of Massachusetts, started his career in Maryland, and is one of the top riders in California now. Danzig Connection, the son of the remarkable young sire Danzig. The time, 2:29 4/5, is way off the world record and stakes record of 2:24. Let's go to Charles E. Canty now. Charles E.
In the excitement over Woody's 6 Belmont, let's not lose sight of the fact that this is Chris McCarron's first classic win and a remarkable riding career. Congratulations, Chris.
Thank you, Chelsea. Boy, that was exciting.
I'll bet. The speed in the mud was true today, yes?
Oh, absolutely. It's been true the last couple days. So Woody just said, get him running, leave him there, see if anybody is desperate to make the lead. If they are, just lay second or third. And I had a lot of horse under me the whole way. I never had to ask him to run till past the 8th pole. When I did, he accelerated very well.
Congratulations, Chris. Exciting ride. Back to you, Jim.
Okay, congratulations to Woody and to Kwiatkowski and to Chris McCarron and, of course, to Danzig Connection. Bill, let's take a look at the stretch run now. It was a real horse race coming into the stretch.
Yes, it sure was. Shoemaker had Ferdinand in a very good position, up a little bit closer than usual, and really didn't have any excuse turning for home. The horse ran a good race, but was beaten. Of course, Danzig's Connection, I don't know, that magic of Woody Stevens, I didn't honestly think Danzig's Connection was as good as the other horses he's run here, but the rider had him in a good spot, and as Chris said, I had plenty of horse, and he ran well through the stretch. He was a well-deserved victory.
So often, of course, the winner of the Belmont will be a fresh horse, won't he? One that hasn't been through that long, grueling Triple Crown series.
Well, they're starting to make a believer out of me.
And there he was, taking the lead with authority at this point. And watch John's Treasure, the horse of 79-year-old Walt Kelly on the outside, number 6, coming up on Ferdinand. Number 5, Personal Flag, in 4th place there.
Well, Personal Flag got a lucky break. He got through on the rail. They say the rail's deep. But, of course, that's a good performance for him to finish 4th. John's Treasure made his move the same time that Shoemaker did on Ferdinand. They both ran together. And, of course, John's Treasure out-nodded him for 2nd.
And, by the way, the horse who won is trained by the 72-year-old, the 2nd place horse by the 79-year-old, and the 3rd place horse by the 73-year-old. The springtime of the senior citizen continues. We'll be back. A quick look at the odds again. Conquistador's Stretch, Gone West 5-1. Leo Castelli and Gulch the entry 7-1. Avi's Copy has to be an overlay at 29-1. Ali Sheba at 4-5 still. Bet Twice, the 2nd place horse, remember the Derby and the Preakness, 8-1. Manasseh Jack going up now to 44-1. Crypto Clearance at 9-2. A lot of support there. And Chocolate One at 19-1.
It's interesting, Jim. It appears that the Lafitte factor is getting more attention than the Woody factor. Crypto Clearance 9-2. Woody a long shot, really at 5-1.
There's Jack Van Berg, along with a large group. The whole family of Scarboroughs is here. The 3 sons and the daughter, who's the co-owner. And now as Gone West goes into the stall and the crowd cheers, let us move upstairs to the man who called the race again for us today, Dave Johnson. Have a good one, Dave.
Manasseh Jack. And there goes Pim Kai and Crypto Clearance. Post positions were drawn by, that's why the entry, Leo Castelli and Gulch on the outside. Chocolate One, Angel Cordero, 1 win in 16 tries in the Belmont. That was with Gold Ford. And in goes Gulch, and we're ready for the start of the Belmont Stakes. And they're off. Ali Sheba gets to the front by a head, but on the outside, there goes Gulch, and Eddie Maple on the inside zooms up Gone West, and Gone West takes the lead. Mickey Solomoni has Avi's Copy right into the 2nd spot with Bet Twice in 3rd. Then comes Gulch. Along the inside, Ali Sheba is now in 5th position as they round the 1st turn. Back to the front end. It's Gone West with an easy lead by a length and a quarter. Avi's Copy is in 2nd by 2. Bet Twice is racing 3rd, 3 parts of a length. At the rail, that's Ali Sheba in 4th. Crypto Clearance is racing 5th. Gulch is next, then Leo Castelli. Chocolate One, and Cordero is literally standing up in the irons as he was in tight quarters or having some sort of a problem. And far back, Manasseh Jack is ninth as they move on to the backstretch. Now it's Avi's Copy in front by 2.5 lengths. Gone West has taken the 2nd spot, and Bet Twice is 3rd by the same margin. Ali Sheba, looking for the Triple Crown, is in 4th position and some 8 lengths off the lead. Crypto Clearance with Pin Kai on the outside is next. Then Chocolate One, then the entry of Leo Castelli and Gulch, and far back, Manasseh Jack. They move down the backstretch. The first quarter in a slow 24-2, 49-2 for the half, 3 quarters in 1:13-4. This is not a fast pace, and that's why Avy's copy is looking real good right now with Solomoni. He's in front by 2, but now the field starts to tighten up. Maple asks for more and gets it with Gone West moving through between horses. Craig Perrette puts Bet Twice in gear, and now on the outside, it's Bet Twice taking command. Gone West is second. At the rail, it's Avy's copy third. And then Crypto Clearance and Ali Sheba races a team in fourth and fifth. Chocolate One and Leo Castelli. The story is right now Bet Twice, who's drawing away to lead it by some 4 lengths. Gone West is holding the second spot. Crypto Clearance is third. McCarran between horses looks for racing room and is in a little bit of trouble. Back into the fourth spot. Avy's copy drops back to be fifth. They've got less than a quarter of a mile to go. And look at Bet Twice. He's drawing away. 3/16 of a mile to go. Perrette looks over his shoulder, and there isn't anybody within 6 lengths of him. And down the stretch they come. It's Bet Twice, and he's just destroying this field. He's in front by 10. Crypto Clearance is second. Ali Sheba is next with a late charge Gulch. But look at the finish of the Belmont. Craig Perrette raises his whip in victory. The horse that finished second to Ali Sheba Twice has literally destroyed this field and won by 10 in a very slow time of 2 minutes 28 and 1/5 seconds. It was Bet Twice stalking the early lead on the backstretch, taking it on the far turn, and with Perrette aboard, drawing away to win it. There's a photo for the place.
Woody Stevens in disappointment. And there, Bet Twice, Craig Perrette, who has spent most of his career in New Jersey, but had never run in the Belmont before, has won the Belmont Stakes with a tremendous performance by Bet Twice. Unofficially, it appeared to us that Ali Sheba was probably fourth. If that is the case, Bet Twice has not only won the Belmont, but will win the $1 million bonus or most points in the 3 races. Well, Charlesy.
A mild upset to say the least, but certainly Bet Twice has given every indication all the way through the Triple Crown what a good horse he was with game seconds, and now the victory is his.
And Chris McCarran wasn't close enough to slap his hand the way Craig did to him in the Preakness. Well, here we are. Here is Sister Mary Vincent down with the Little Sisters of the Poor in New Orleans. Sister, I'd like to hear from you the story of... Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Sister? Can you hear me, Sister?
No, I can't.
You can't. You must. How did the sisters come together with Risen Star? How did that happen?
Well, we were in the middle of a building fund program, and I went to see Louis and asked him for a donation. And he said, a week later, he said, I thought over it, and I have a great deal for you. If you pray the Risen Star wins, I'll give you some of the winnings. So since then, Risen Star has been our favorite horse.
Okay, I'm sure you've handicapped the race. You must know a lot more about racehorses than you did 5 or 6 months ago. Well, there is Louis Roussel. Thank you very much, Sister. And Louis Roussel, the owner, half owner, and trainer of Risen Star. And there's Woody Stevens looking for his 6th Belmont. It would be 6 out of the last 7 for Woody should he win today. And John Veach. Somewhat surprised, I suspect, that his horse is the favorite here today.
Well, obviously the public here feels the 1.5 miles is the key. Probably it is. He's been wanting more ground all along.
And Gene Klein, the former owner of the San Diego Chargers. He says football was nothing compared to the horses. Very upset 3 weeks ago and now hoping for vindication for his filly today. The track, the stakes, and the world record of 2:24 was set on this racetrack by Secretariat in 1973 when he won the Belmont Stakes by 31 lengths, and his son is Risen Star, second choice in the betting here today. No son of his has yet won the Belmont.
The key today is to watch the pace. Eddie De La Houssaye on Risen Star is really the man on the hot seat. The filly obviously will go to the lead. Eddie De La Houssaye, it's up to him to stalk her and not let her get too far without compromising his own chances.
And that sets the scene for the call of the race. Let's go up on top now to Dave Johnson. All right, Dave.
Cephas is in, and Granacus follows. A roar from the crowd of over 55,000. Let's listen to them low. That's Gary Stevens. And Winning Colors quickly takes command. Risen Star on the outside into the second spot, and between horses, King Post is up close early in third. Then it's a gap of about 3. Brian's Time is fourth on the outside. Granacus is racing fifth, and Cephas is the trailer as the sextet rounds the first turn. It's Winning Colors in command by a length and 3/4. Risen Star in pursuit from the second spot. And Robbie Davis has King Post right there third. Then it's a gap of about 6. With Brian's Time on the outside fourth. Granacus is at the rail and about 8 lengths farther back to Cephas. From Winning Colors to Cephas, about 25 lengths. Moving to the backstretch. Winning Colors now has an easy lead after the first quarter in 23-2 and coming to the half-mile mark, and that's in 47-1. So Winning Colors in front by about 4 lengths, probably not as slow as Gary Stevens would like it to be, but Winning Colors has the lead by 3, and Risen Star is right there by the same margin and now cutting the gap to about a length and a half. Here comes Risen Star. Delahousie asked the son of Secretariat for speed and gets it. Only a half length separate the Kentucky Derby and Preakness winner as they move down the backstretch. 3/4 in 1:11-4. The pace is quickening. Now it's Winning Colors in front 3/4 of a length. Risen Star on the outside is second by 4. King Post is third. Brian's Time fourth on the outside ahead. Granacus is fifth, and it's another 15 lengths back to the trailer, Cephas, as they round the far turn. Now heads apart. Risen Star on the outside. The Preakness winner takes command from the Derby winner. Winning Colors along the inside drops back second by 2.5. King Post at close-up third. That's the longest shot on the board, and he's within striking distance. 3.5 back, Brian's Time. They move to the top of the stretch, and Risen Star has the lead by 3. The filly is dropping back as King Post makes his move on the outside. They're approaching the quarter pole, and Risen Star has the lead by 4. Eddie Delahousie aboard. King Post is in the runner-up spot at this point. Brian's Time at the rail is racing third. Winning Colors back to fourth. Then Cephas and Granacus. But past the 8th pole, Risen Star drawing away. He looks like his daddy at this point. Risen Star in front, and down the stretch they come. Risen Star drawing off. He's in front by 15, by 18. Risen Star takes the Belmont, just like his daddy Secretariat did. King Post finishes second. Brian's Time third. Then it was Cephas, Granacus, and the filly Winning Colors finishes third. They're jubilant at Belmont, I'm sure, in New Orleans. The final time on the board, 2 minutes 26 and 2/5 seconds.
And that, Dave, is the second fastest Belmont in history, second only to the great Secretariat. The unofficial winner, Risen Star. Second, the long shot, King Post. And third, Brian's Time. An electrifying run, a 15-length victory for this man's horse, for Risen Star. And you saw the hilarity down there with the little sisters. He's won 2 legs of the Triple Crown, and the $1 million bonus will go to New Orleans. The outrider there, Caroline, you hear me that there?
Yes.
Eddie, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Done it again.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great feeling. Great to win the Belmont. My first one, and I tell you what, Louis Roussel and his crew done a hell of a job with this horse.
Well, so did you, Eddie, and congratulations. We'll talk to you further when you get into the winner's circle.
Thank you.
Eddie Delahousie has now won 2 Kentucky Derbies, and he won them consecutively. He's won the Preakness, and now he's won the Belmont. And Risen Star is well on his way to glory. Tom Gilliland is the outrider. Tom, we're just talking about the racetrack. It looks like there's some moisture still in it, but they're calling it fast. How's it feel to you?
This racetrack is real fast.
Is it? Real fast.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and they're all behaving themselves out there, it looks like.
Yes, sir. We're about ready
Thank you
to
very
lock
much.
the gates up right now.
Okay, Tom. Thank you very much. Tom Gilliland, the outrider, as the field is just 100 yards or so from the post for the 122nd Belmont Stakes. Now, the stakes and track record, there it is. One of the greatest records in sport. Secretariat in 1973, 2:24, and he won by 31 lengths. And it gives me a chill just to say it every time. There, number 6, Video Ranger. 5 there, Unbridled.
An off-track had been a concern, certainly in the Bluegrass. Carl Navsker almost scratched Unbridled from the Bluegrass, but knew he needed a race, so they gave him an easy race there. This kind of a track today has a lot of sand in it. He won't be slipping and sliding.
There's another good look at 36 Red, the local favorite here, winner of the Gotham and the Wood, number 1. Let's go up now to the man who called the race, Dave Johnson.
And they are in the home stretch coming to the starting gate. Hard to believe this is the same place that Secretariat drew away and won by 31 lengths, and the same stretch where Affirmed and Alidar battled nose to nose. There is 36 Red, and Speed has an address today. It is post position number 1, and there is the resident of number 1 post position, 36 Red, with young Mike Smith. Go and go is in. Jean Cruguet, who won the Triple Crown with Seattle Slew, aboard Baron DeVoe, who's given him a bit of a trouble. Chris Antley aboard Country Day. Chris, the leading rider in New York this year. And here comes the Kentucky Derby winner, unbridled, being led in by Bobby Duncan. Craig Perret in the yellow cap. The late Speed, the Video Ranger. There's Hawaiian Pass at 75 to 1. The only California bred in the race. Yonder, sired by Seattle Slew, winner of the Belmont. Cordero, who won this race with Bold Forbes, guides Land Rushing. 9 of them, 3-year-olds. The Belmont Stakes, and they're up! And on the outside, Hawaiian Pass gets the early lead. Baron DeVoe is second, but there goes 36 Red, moving through on the inside and now taking command. It's 36 Red along the inside, and Hawaiian Pass on the outside is second. From between horses, Baron DeVoe is third. Land Rush on the far outside is fourth. Then Go and Go, fifth at the rail. Unbridled is sixth at this point, but only about 5 lengths off the leader. Then it's 2.5 back to Yonder, followed by Video Ranger, and Country Day at the back of the pack is 12 lengths away from 36 Red, who covered the first quarter mile in 23 2/5 seconds. As they move to the backstretch, Mike Smith trying to slow down the pace. He's riding 36 Red, the leader at this point, by 3 parts of a length, and Hawaiian Pass with Art Madrid Jr. comes up alongside a closer second. On the far outside, that's Land Rush, and at the rail, Baron DeVoe with Cruguet. Now Baron DeVoe is on the move, quickly into the second spot and quickly to challenge 36 Red. It's Baron DeVoe on the inside, putting a head in front. 36 Red is second. Hawaiian Pass is third, and the Irish-bred horse Go and Go is now fourth and gaining along the inside. Now Go and Go is third. Hawaiian Pass back to fourth. Land Rush fifth. Unbridled is sixth on the outside, jockey wearing the yellow cap. 5 lengths farther back, that's Yonder and the distant trailers, Video Ranger and Country Day. They're 20 lengths off the leaders. Now around the far turn after the half mile in 48 seconds. That's slow. 3/4 in 1:12 and 1. And they're heads apart. As you see, it's still 36 Red on the outside and Baron DeVoe at the rail. But here comes Unbridled with Craig Perret. He's making his move. The mile in 1:36 and 2. At the rail, Go and Go with Michael Kinane. Now looks for a little racing room. And here comes Yonder on the outside with Jerry Bailey. Those 5 are tightly bunched as the full field moves to the top of the stretch. Mike Smith looked over his shoulder and he saw that Yonder was coming on. At the rail, it's Baron DeVoe. They straighten away in the lane. It's still 36 Red. Now he's taking command by 1. But here comes Go and Go on the outside as Baron DeVoe drops back. And down the stretch they come. Here comes Go and Go taking command. Drawing clear by 2 with jockey Michael Kinane aboard. 36 Red has lost it. He's second. Baron DeVoe third. Go and Go wins the Belmont by 7 lengths. It's 36 Red second and Baron DeVoe third. The time 2 minutes 27 and 1/5 seconds. So the horse who's the swimmer, trained by the champion trainer of Ireland and ridden by the champion jockey of Ireland, Go and Go, comes home a winner in the 122nd running of the Belmont Stakes.
And so from across the seas comes the winner of the Belmont, only the second Irish bred ever to win this race. Cavan won it way back in the late 50s. Unbridled did not go the 1.5 miles, Charlesy.
Well, there could be any number of factors. Certainly the Lasix issue comes immediately to mind. He made a menacing move starting around the turn and then flattened out as they came to the quarter pole. It would certainly make one think along those lines. But go and go, take nothing away. Dermot Wells said he wasn't sure he'd get a mile and a quarter. He wasn't sure about an off track. He answered everything with a very big yes.
Well, today he got a mile and a half and won. Michael Kinane, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're suddenly a big name in America.
I've no complaints about that.
Describe the race briefly for me.
I got a nice break looked lovely, and they went nice, even pace, you know, it was always in control. I was amazed how easy it was going down out of the back. And once I saw Bridle driving on my outside in big trouble, then I knew I was going to take a big lead. So he picked up well in the straight.
Well, there'll be a lot of parties near the Curragh tonight, I'll tell you that. Congratulations, Michael Kinane. And there, unbridled, the beaten favorite in the race went off at 6-5. There is a photo for fourth, and now they tell us that he was fourth, beating out Yonder for that position. So the winner, Go and Go, and then 36 Red, and then, surprisingly, the Maryland-bred long shot, Baron DeVoe, finishing third and in it most of the way, and then unbridled.
Another review acting up in the one hole. Scan toward the inside, takes the early lead. Corporate Report up to challenge early with Hansel between them, racing in third. On the outside, Subordinated Dead is fourth. Another review quickly moving through along the inside. A long run to the first turn here at Belmont Park. And another review along the inside rail takes command by 3/4 of a length. Corporate Report is expected on the outside, contests the early issue. Then a gap of a length and 3/4, and Hansel on the outside is racing third by half a length. Main Minister is tucked in on the rail, racing fourth by 2.5. So then it's a gap of 2 lengths, and Scan followed on the outside by Subordinated Debt, then the Irish Horse, its Smooth Performance. Then comes Lost Mountain, a gap of a length and a half back to Green Alligator. Quintana is next, and at the back of the pack, absolutely last in the field of 11 is Strike the Gold. He's about 20 lengths off the lead, down the backstretch. Now it's Corporate Report leading it by 3/4 of a length, and Hansel on the outside second. It's a quick half mile in 46 3/5 seconds. That's 2/5 of a second slower than Secretariat's half mile time, down the backstretch. It's Corporate Report on the inside, in front by a head. Hansel on the outside, second by 2, with Scan racing third at this point. Main Minister is fourth. The Irish Horse, Smooth Performance, moving through steadily on the inside, fifth. Subordinated Debt on the outside, and then Green Alligator along the rail. Strike the Gold is now making a move from the back of the pack. As they move around the far turn, a half mile to the finish. Hansel on the outside, taking the lead along the inside. Corporate Report. Now Scan is right there with the leaders. Those three are tightly bunched. It's 2.5 back to Main Minister racing fourth. Strike the Gold is fifth and moving on the extreme outside very boldly. Quintana is next as the Irish Horse drops back a bit. As they move now to the top of the stretch, Hansel on the outside. Corporate Report along the inside. Scan is next. And as they straighten away in the stretch, here comes Strike the Gold on the extreme outside. And another review has pulled up at the top of the stretch. There's a furlong to the finish. On the inside, Hansel has the lead. Strike the Gold on the outside. Coming on, Main Minister is racing third. Down the stretch and to the wire. Hansel on the inside. Strike the Gold on the outside. Hansel holds on to win it by a head with Jerry Bailey aboard. Strike the Gold last in the early going, flying through the stretch to finish second, and I believe Main Minister was third. The final time, 2 minutes and 28 seconds, and that's well off the records here in the Belmont. So Hansel proved who was the real Hansel in the Triple Crown, winning not only the Belmont Stakes, but winning the Preakness earlier this season. Hansel, the unofficial winner of the Belmont.
All right, Dave, there's owner Joe Albritton, and Hansel is no fairy tale. He is the real thing, taking charge at the top of the pack of the 3-year-olds in this country today. Winner of the Preakness and the Belmont after his big disappointment in the Kentucky Derby. What a race he ran. Of course, Strike the Gold was coming fast at the end. It was, in fact, as we indicated, it might be the rubber match between the Derby winner and the Preakness winner. There is Strike the goal. Yes.
I don't think if we had written the script ourselves, we could have asked for a more exciting and more dramatic finish. Hansel, the Preakness winner, was right on the pace. He was full of run all the way. Strike the Gold, on the contrary, very far back. Made a big, big run. He started his run midway down the backstretch, loomed big at the head of the stretch, and came flying with every stride. Chris Antley rode him very well. Hansel was just a little bit too good for him at the wire. They've been going a mile and a half, and in 3 feet, maybe it would have been different.
And guess who was third again?
Maine Minister. If we can say one thing, he's consistent. He's a nice, honest little horse who tries hard.
Hansel taking command. Corporate report on the inside, second at this point, Scan third.
Remember Hansel, the Kentucky Derby favorite, coming off brilliant victories in the Jim Beam and in the Bluegrass, but threw in a clunker at Louisville. They shipped him back to Chicago and then finally to Baltimore to win. And here he was, moving to the front, and he'll be able to withstand Strike the Gold in the closest finish in the Belmont Stakes since 1978 when Affirmed edged Alydar.
And here's the finish of the race that you want to see. And Al, here is $1 million picture with Hansel edging out Strike the Gold. Both of these horses, the Kentucky Derby winner and the Preakness winner, run their race in the Belmont, and it's a photo finish with Hansel getting it in the photo.
Hansel had slightly more money bet on him than Green Alligator at the end, so he did go off as the second choice. He pays $10, $20, $6.40, and $5. Strike the Gold went off as the 2-to-1 favorite, $5 and $4. And Maine Minister, if nothing else, as consistent as they come. Third in the Derby, third in the Preakness, third in the Belmont. Maine Minister pays $4.40. The exacta $39.20. The triple pays $237. Joe Albritton is the owner, Frankie Brothers is the trainer, and we have them isolated to look at their reaction as their horse has the lead and tries to fend off Strike the Gold down the stretch. Now, across the way, Nick Zito and one of the owners, Giles Brophy of Strike the Gold. And that's what it looks like to come up a little short in a bid for $1 million.
In the owner's boxes, and the horses are starting to go into the gate for the 124th Belmont. Dave Johnson stands by upstairs. Here you go, Dave.
Casual Eyes is in, and there's Pine Bluff. Al Sabine is next. And just behind the starting gate, the former claimer, Jacksonport. Jean Cruguet, who won the Triple Crown. Seattle Slew. Here's Steve Cawthon with Cristofori. Steve, of course, won the Triple Crown with Affirmed when he was 18 years old. Steve Cawthon behind the gate on Cristofori. Steve is in. Post positions drawn by Lot. Agincourt, who wears saddlecloth 1, is moving in, and his stablemate Robert's Hero is next in line. These are all 3-year-olds. They all carry 126 pounds. My Memoirs with the red cap and Jerry Bailey, who won this race last year with Hansel. Montreal Marty, the New York bred, and Julie Crone with Colony Light. 124th Belmont Stakes. We're ready for the start. 1.5 miles. And they're off. And Al Sabine from between horses. Now Casual Lies shows quick early speed. AP Indy along the inside is next. Middle of the track. There goes Agincourt. They go to the clubhouse turn. 3 of them across the track. AP Indy at the rail. Casual Lies between horses. And Agincourt on the outside caught 3 wide and losing a little ground. My Memoirs up close. Then Pine Bluff alongside in 5th. Al Sabine has been shuffled back into 6th position. On the inside, Cristoforo. Around the turn and racing to the backstretch, it's Casual Lies in front by 3 parts of a length. On the outside, that's Agincourt now charging up to challenge, and Pine Bluff makes a move. On the outside, 3rd, AP Indy with Delahousie content to sit 4th and save ground along the inside. It's 4 lengths farther back. My Memoirs is 5th. On the outside, Al Sabine is 6th. Cristofori on the inside is next. Then comes Montreal Marty, followed on the outside by Colony Light, then Jacksonport, and the trailer is Robert's Hero. They continue down the backstretch. On the outside, it's Agincourt, the only horse in the race wearing mudcocks, leading it by half a length. Casual Lies, again on the inside, moves to challenge. Those two heads apart. A battle on the front end. Agincourt on the outside. Casual Lies at the rail. And Pine Bluff just sitting off the leaders, racing in third. 2 off the front runner, Agincourt. Then along the outside, it's AP Indy, who has not been asked for his run yet. He's 5th. Cristofori on the inside is next. As they race around the far turn, it's still Casual Lies with an easy lead with Gary Stevens aboard in front by a head. Agincourt is 2nd. Pine Bluff races 3rd. On the outside, AP Indy is called for action. With his head low, he joins them. 4 of them across the racetrack. My Memoirs racing 5th. And on the inside, Cristofori is next. They straighten away in the stretch, and Pine Bluff takes the lead ahead. On the outside, here comes AP Indy to challenge. They're in the stretch and coming to the 8th pole. AP Indy charges up on the outside. Pine Bluff at the rail. Pine Bluff with a short lead. AP Indy is 2nd. My Memoirs is 3rd. And down the stretch they come. Between horses, AP Indy with a head in front. Pine Bluff battling back. My Memoirs on the outside. AP Indy wins it 3/4 of a length. A photograph on the outside. It was My Memoirs, and at the rail, Pine Bluff. A courageous race by these 3 outstanding horses coming home in the 1.5 miles in 2 minutes 26 seconds, tying the 2nd fastest Belmont.
So
Only Secretary
AP Indy. AP Indy has won a magnificent running of the Belmont Stakes. It's unofficial, of course, but in 2nd place was the English-bred My Memoirs, recently purchased by Americans, unofficially, and 3rd was Pine Bluff. That's all unofficial. Whew. So it appears unofficially that Pine Bluff will win the $1 million bonus as Casual Lies faded. Charlesy, what did you think of that race?
Well, I think we've looked all over the world for a hero for racing, and we had the horse right here, AP Indy. Pine Bluff looked a winner when they came through the stretch. The big 3 turned for home together, but it was AP Indy and that laid-back, doggedly determined style of his, and he ground everybody down and won at the wire.
Okay. Eddie Delahousse, congratulations. The Cajuns done it again. I don't think Eddie hears us this time. Pretty noisy, this crowd of 50,000 and more really still hooping it up. Eddie Delahousse, who won back-to-back Kentucky Derbies.
And there are the fractions, and AP Indy showed his good versatility. He was able to snap out of the gate, lay pretty close, wait when they picked it up down the backstretch, and when they turned for home, we'll watch them as they came through the stretch. Pine Bluff looked a clear winner. He had it. AP Indy coming along on the outside, head low. We've talked all summer about spring, about shadow rolls. Pine Bluff wearing one. AP Indy carries his head the way you want a horse to carry. That's why you put a shadow roll on him. Head down, long, slow, smooth stride. And that's what probably makes the difference in the end. That wonderful way of going of AP Indy. He's the best 3-year-old in the country. Only 1 narrow loss in his career. 7 straight victories.
And about half the field loaded, and Bull in the Heather ready to move into line. Once around this magnificent ribbon of dirt racetrack. All of them carry 126 pounds. They are all 3-year-olds. Aaron Thod moving in now. I asked Jerry Bailey which of the Triple Crown races was the toughest to win, and he said the Belmont, because you had more time to make the stakes. He will be trying to duplicate that Kentucky Derby effort. He is being led to the gate right now by one of the assistant starters. Jerry Bailey, who's won 3 this afternoon already, looks for his 4th with the biggest race of the day. Crowd cheering. The track listed good. Silver of Silver is in. 2 left. Antrim Road with the blinkers and Richard Migliori. And Wild Gale with Bad Luck, who was 3rd in the Kentucky Derby, is in line. A gate full ready for the 3rd leg of racing's Triple Crown. Frank Calvarese will send them on their way, as he's been doing for 10 years. They're off in the Belmont Stakes, and Kiss and Chris on the outside, but now Cherokee Run. And Bull in the Heathers shows some early speed. Raglan Road is right there between horses. Sea Hero up close. Silver of Silver. Antrim Road on the extreme outside. Quick early speed. Antrim Road angles to the rail and takes the lead.
And on the inside, that's Cherokee Run into second position. And then a gap of a length and a half, and Bull in the Heather is racing third. On the inside, Colonial Affair squeezed back a bit as Raglan Road begins to move up. But back on the front end, it's Antrim Road with Richard Migliore showing the way by 2.5 lengths, and the horse we thought was going to be in front, Cherokee Run, holds the second spot. Along the outside, there goes Wild Gale, who is moving up quickly. And Sea Hero is asked for some speed and quickly responds. He is now fourth along the inside and looking for some racing room. Down the backstretch, Antrim Road leads it. Wild Gale is second, and now Bailey takes Sea Hero to the outside. And there has been a problem. Prairie Bayou has thrown the rider. Prairie Bayou is riderless on the backstretch. Looks like he has broken a foot. Anyway, they go to the far turn. Antrim Road leads it. And Cherokee Run on the outside is in the second spot. And now there goes Silver of Silver, charging up third in the green cap on the outside. At the rail, that's Wild Gale as Sea Hero drops back, and Colonial Affair with Julie Crone starts to move out in the middle of the racetrack. As they're midway on the turn, Cherokee Run on the outside takes the lead. Antrim Road at the rail is second. Along the outside, that's Silver of Silver. And Julie Crone now angles to the outside. From between horses, that's Wild Gale moving up. But now it's still Cherokee Run under a drive with Chris Antley in front. And now here comes Colonial Affair on the outside. At the rail, that's Wild Gale, followed by Silver of Silver. And now Colonial Affair with Julie Crone takes command and draws clear. It's Colonial Affair drawing clear in the Belmont with only a furlong to go. Colonial Affair leads it. Kiss and Chris with a late charge on the outside. Wild Gale at the rail and in the middle of the racetrack. Virginia Rapids, but in deep stretch, it's going to be Colonial Affair winning it by 2 lengths. Kiss and Chris second, followed by Wild Gale third. After that, it was Silver of Silver and Virginia Rapids. A marred Belmont Stakes in 2 minutes 29 and 4/5 seconds. The ambulance blinking on the backstretch. Prairie Bayou broke down apparently on the backstretch, but there's your winner, and it is the first time that a female rider has ever won a race of the Triple Crown Series. Colonial Affair. Mike Smith on the backstretch being taken into the ambulance, and of course Prairie Bayou, who went off the favorite at 5-2, lost all chance with trouble on the backstretch. The veterinarians are on their way right now. And there is your winner, Colonial Affair. Jim?
Well, Colonial Affair, the upset winner, but Julie Crone once again has become the first woman ever to win a Triple Crown race at age 29. Unofficially, she has ridden the winner of the Belmont Stakes, but remember that the inquiry sign has been posted. That means that the stewards themselves want to have a look at it, want to see what happened out there, no doubt in connection with the Prairie Bayou business. We're going to be getting an update as soon as we can on Prairie Bayou. There he is on the backstretch. But the woman of the moment is right there. 29-year-old Julie Crone. If you notice, by the way, that jockey Mike Smith was standing up on the backstretch, he appears to be okay. There he is. There he is. The rider of Prairie Bayou is okay, as the horse himself, we do not know. So happy little Julie heads for the winner's circle.
Woman to ever win a Triple Crown race. The ecstasy there, the agony of another breakdown. We had Union City, who had to be destroyed in the Preakness. Mike Smith jumped off Prairie Bayou. We attempted to get a word with Mike, but he has declined to be interviewed at the moment. Emotionally upset, but physically he appears to be all right. And as I'm joined by Dave Johnson, we have Prairie Bayou on the left here, isolated.
And it was well back in the pack. He's alongside Aranthod, the horse who had never raced on dirt. And they were moving down the backstretch. I don't believe there was any problem with any other horse earlier in this afternoon. Mike Smith bailed off. And, of course, Prairie Bayou lost all chance.
All right, we have no report yet as to the condition of Prairie Bayou. We will be getting that shortly. Meanwhile, in terms of the inquiry, we are being told that it has to do simply with the incident on the backstretch involving Prairie Bayou. That was the original inquiry, and now there has been just posted a jockey's objection. So the first inquiry was a formality. The second one we'll get the details of shortly as you watch Julie Crone take Colonial Affair 13-1 home.
The stewards call for inquiries when there's ever a problem like there was with Prairie Bayou. The inquiry now, the objection, is concerning the second horse, Kiss and Chris, which is now blinking. It's the third horse against the second horse. The rider of Wild Gale, Shane Sellers, has alleged interference against Kiss and Chris, who came from far back with Jose Santos to get the runner-up spot. But Julie Crone was out of trouble. She had the best horse this afternoon, trained by Scotty Schulhofer.
So even though the results are not official, they will not take down the winner. So the blanket of carnations adorning the winner, Colonial Affair, and let's check in with Charles C.
Well, it was ironical that Scotty Schulhofer had Sea Hero for Paul Mellon in Florida, and now Scotty Schulhofer winds up defeating Sea Hero here in the Belmont. It was a fresh horse who got the job done today. Jerry Bailey, the third Triple Crown race for Sea Hero. There was a point at which he moved up, and I thought he was really happy with his racetrack and would win.
Well, you know, Charles, usually you're worried if you have no horse. I was worried because I had too much horse going into the first turn. The position was fine with me, and he was in a good placement, but he was very rank, and he wasn't relaxing for me. And it concerned me a little bit. I didn't think he could get the entire mile and a half doing it that way.
And no traffic problems, though, other than that?
No, actually, no. I lost some ground in the first turn, but with the 11 posts, I expected to. But if he'd have just settled, I could have tucked in and been all right. But those things happen.
All right, Jerry, thank you. All the rain didn't help Sea Hero today. Al?
No, he'll just use me.
All right, Charles C., let's get caught up on a couple of things here, because there are a lot of pieces to this puzzle, with the inquiry, with the jockey's objection, also the report on the breakdown of Prairie Bayou, a compound fracture of the left cannon bone. And again, as we take a look at the isolated replay, a scene that unfortunately we have to see again. And Tom Bohannon, even though he is a long way away from the backside and is looking at the race without the use of binoculars, he knows that there is a problem, and that was his reaction. Meanwhile, the flashing 3, because of the jockey's objection, for the moment the 4 remains up there. There is no change now. The flashing 3 is now a permanent 3. The word official will come up in a second, and we will be seeing the prices very shortly. And Colonial Affair will have won the Belmont at odds of 13-1. So the results are official. Colonial Affair is the winner, pays $29.80, $14.80, and $9.40. Kiss and Chris finishes second, pays $11.20 and $7.20. Wild Gale, third in the Derby and now third in the Belmont, pays $14. The exacta, $463.60. And if you had the triple, baby, you're buying dinner tonight. $18,677. $229 and $4 over a track that started the day as fast and went off as good. Well, the horses are loading. Here we go, the 126 Belmont for the call, Dave Johnston.
And there's Amathos moving in the line, and the last horse, Strode's Creek. Charlie Whittingham had won 13 stakes before Jerry Bailey, the pilot, was ever born. We're ready to go. On the inside, Gopher Gin takes the early lead, and Tabasco Cat on the outside is right there, and as expected, Ulysses completes the trio up front. They go to the clubhouse turn. The Derby winner, Gopher Gin, is a bit wide here going to the first turn, but he still has the lead, and he's carrying the Preakness winner, Tabasco Cat, wide as Strode's Creek scoots through on the inside and takes advantage of it. Jerry Bailey in a much closer position. He's now back into third. And Ulysses on the outside is racing in the fourth spot, but he's wide. Then it's Signal Tap and Amathos at the back of the pack. It's only 4 lengths, though, from front to back. Gopher Gin leads it by less than a length. On the inside, it's Tabasco Cat, second by a head. Ulysses on the outside is third. And then it's Strode's Creek stalking those top 3 runners, a gap of a length and a half. And the trailers, Amathos on the outside, Signal Tap is the trailer. They continue down the backstretch, and it's Gopher Gin, Chris McCarron leading it by 3 parts of a length. Tabasco Cat is right there in second,
Ulysses staying a close-up third, and now Strode's Creek inching up ever closer with Jerry Bailey aboard, is fourth along the inside and saving some ground. It's 2.5 back, and Jose Santos moves Signal Tap up into 5th position. Amathos is now the trailer. They go to the far turn. 3/4 in 1:11.1, not terribly fast, and it is Go for Gin on the front end and holding that lead, actually drawing off now with about a 2.25 length advantage. Tabasco Cat sits second. 3 back to the favorite Strode's Creek, who is not closing anymore. Along the inside, it's Signal Tap. McCarron looks around and sees that now the competition is going to come from Tabasco Cat. And Tabasco Cat inches out into the second spot. And Strode's Creek with Jerry Bailey asking for more run as they turn for home. Go for Gin again wide at this turn. Tabasco Cat to challenge on the outside. Their noses apart on the front end. And down the stretch they come. Tabasco Cat takes command. Go for Gin on the inside second. Strode's Creek is third and gaining ground in deep, deep stretch. Tabasco Cat digging in, hanging on, winning the Belmont. Go for Gin was second. Strode's Creek third. Wayne Lucas getting the congratulations. Jeff watching at home as Tabasco Cat becomes the 8th horse to win the Preakness and the Belmont. A masterful ride by Pat Day, who lost ground both turns when Go for Gin went wide. And here's Strode's Creek with Jerry Bailey obviously coming up alongside to offer his congratulations on this 126th edition of the Classic. Go for Gin in a gutsy performance finished second. He won the Kentucky Derby and has been so consistent. Chris McCarron was trying for the Belmont again. He won it with Danzig Connection back in '86, but he didn't have it today. And he did surprise, I think, a lot of people with those wide moves on the turn. But he did finish second. Gets away cleanly. That's Cholito as expected, going for the lead on the outside. It's Grand Slam. Then comes Raffy's Majesty, who's closer than usual. Limit Out is taking a position toward the inside. Real Quiet is 5th at this point, and Yarrow Bray is going to get caught wide at the first turn as they round the clubhouse turn. Cholito leads the field by a length and 3/4, and Real Quiet is now in 4th position, about 4 lengths from the lead. As they race to the backstretch, it's Cholito on an uncontested lead, with Raffy's Majesty dropping back and Grand Slam taking the second spot. Grand Slam second, Raffy's Majesty third, Yarrow Bray with the blue and red colors on the outside moving up. Raffy's Majesty is now dropping back into 5th position, and Real Quiet, the Derby and Preakness winner, is 6th, about 4 lengths from the lead. Then comes Thomas Joe with the blue blinkers. Basic Trainee is 3rd last. Victory Gallop. And at the back of the pack, it's Classic Cat. Down the backstretch, and Cholito with Robbie Davis has the lead by a little more than a length. Limit Out on the inside. Grand Slam with Jerry Bailey inching up. Then Yarrow Bray is between horses, and Real Quiet is gaining ground on the outside. He's 3 off the rail. He's 3rd now, and going up as they go to the far turn. It's Cholito in front, Grand Slam 2nd, and Real Quiet trying for the Triple Crown on the outside 3rd. Yarrow Bray is 4th at this point. Limit Out is dropping back. Around the turn, Cholito still has the lead. Now here comes Grand Slam to challenge, and Real Quiet on the outside. 3 of them across the track. Coming to the top of the stretch. On the inside, Cholito trying to hang on. Real Quiet with a burst of speed takes the lead by a head. Grand Slam is right there between horses. Thomas Joe is flying from the back of the pack. He's 4th now with McCarron as they straighten away in the lane of the Belmont. Real Quiet takes command. A roar from the crowd as he bounces away by 3.5 lengths. Thomas Joe is closing. Victory Gallop is now 2nd. Down the stretch they come. Real Quiet in front. Here comes Victory Gallop with Gary
Was it Real Quiet? Did he win the Triple Crown? On the outside victory gallop. Neither jockey indicating that they think they won it. That's a photo finish.
Unbelievable that it should end in this manner when it looked at the top of the stretch as if it was a certain Triple Crown victory for Real Quiet, and the emotions, the agony in some cases, that the connections, that the friends, that the relatives, that the people close to this horse and DeSormo and Baffert and Pegram are going through right now. But it's been a classic 3 races for these 2 horses. Once again, the look on Mike Pegram's face, he doesn't know what to think. Neither jockey, as Dave indicated, knows whether he has won the race or not. It was that close. And the placing judges will, of course, determine the winner. We can also tell you, as a point of information, if it somehow winds up as a dead heat, Real Quiet would still win the bonus. It was that close. Here is the photo. Take a look at that. And we understand as well there will be a steward's inquiry in the stretch as the horse is bumped. That has not yet been posted, but that is the information we are getting. And you are looking at the stewards who will be viewing the head-on shots and all of the other angles of the stretch run and determining the winner of this race as the placing judges take a look at the photo. Well, DeSormo's body language there would indicate that he doesn't think he's won it. Neither would the face of Mike Pegram. Gary Stevens, meanwhile, coming back with victory gallop, and Charlie Gallop. For the moment, they put up 11 on the board, and that's the reason for the scream at Belmont. Now they put it up again. They put it up, took it down, the crowd screamed. Now they put 11 up again, with victory gallop winning it by a nose. And Gary Stevens, who saw his Triple Crown hopes dashed last year by Chris McCarron, is the spoiler today. We'll slow it down. We'll look at it again. Again, you've got a steward's inquiry as well, but the photo has shown that the nose in front belongs to number 11, and that would be Victory Gallop with a tremendous drive in the stretch. So he didn't have enough room in Louisville. He didn't have enough room in Baltimore, but the 1.5 miles makes the difference. And it's who gets the nose down at the end here, Dave.
Earlier in the program, Gary Stevens told us that he learned something in the Preakness when he rode that horse for the first time.
And the other night will hobble to the winner's circle. Victory Gallop, $11, $3.60, and $3.20. Real Quiet paid $3. We'll be loading into the gate very shortly for the final leg of the Triple Crown.
Al, 8-5 represents the highest price for 2 winners of the first 2 legs of the Triple Crown, as it happened only once before, and that was Gallant Fox.
This is only the 4th time in Charismatic's racing career that he has gone off as the favorite. Mike Pegram, who last year had Real Quiet, but this year Silver Bullet Day. Elliott Walden, who watched his horse Menifee try to spoil the party. The crowd in full throat right now as the horses load into the starting gate. And for the call of the Belmont, Dave Johnson.
1.5 miles, a fast track, a field of 12, all 3-year-olds. The filly carries 5 pounds less than the colts, 121 for Silver Bullet Day, the others 126. And Lemon Drop Kid is giving him a little bit of trouble trying to get into the starting gate right now. There goes Patience Game. Wayne Lucas. Wayne Lucas and Bob Lewis. Adonis. Bob Baffert, the trainer of Silver Bullet Day. Menifee second in the Derby and the Preakness. And his trainer, Elliott Walden. The jockey is Pat Day.
2 out. Still got 1 out. Got 1 out.
That one is best of luck. He's in line. We're ready for the start. And they're off in the Belmont Stakes, and Best of Luck was off a step slowly, as was Pineapple, and Charismatic gets away cleanly as they run to the first turn. Menifee surprisingly on the outside, along with Stephen Got Even showing early speed, Charismatic and the filly Silver Bullet Day at the rail. They're at the clubhouse turn, and it's Silver Bullet Day with the red cap leading it, and the Derby winner on the outside. It's Charismatic now putting ahead in front. It's the Lady and the Champ up front. Charismatic on the outside, and Silver Bullet Day races in the second spot. On the outside with the red colors, Stephen Got Even is in third position. Moving through on the inside, that's Vision and Verse as they race down the backstretch. The first quarter was in 23-3. They straighten away for the run down the backstretch, and it's Silver Bullet Day on the inside, in front by a head. Charismatic going for the Triple Crown is second, and Stephen Got Even inching up on the outside third. Prime Directive with the red blinkers is fourth, and along the inside, Vision and Verse is fifth at this point. Then comes Menifee, who has been shuffled back into sixth position. Lemon Drop Kid is next. After that, it's Patience Game. Teletable, 2.5 back to Adonis. And far back, it's Best of Luck. And far, far back, and having lost touch with the field, Pineapple. They go to the far turn. And Silver Bullet Day leads it by half a length easily. Jerry Bailey aboard. Charismatic is second. And on the outside, Stephen Got Even. And just behind those in the black cap, Vision and Verse saving ground on the inside as they reach the midway point on the turn. Adonis is fifth at this point. Lemon Drop Kid is sixth. Menifee is seventh as they move to the top of the stretch. It's the filly Silver Bullet Day on the rail in front. Between horses, Charismatic trying for the Triple Crown. On the outside, Stephen Got Even. Adonis, and here on the extreme outside comes Lemon Drop Kid. At the rail, in the white blinkers, Vision and Verse. Now 5 of them, and Charismatic takes the lead. Charismatic between horses, but on the outside, there goes Lemon Drop Kid just rushing to contention. Lemon Drop Kid, and on the inside, Vision and Verse. Lemon Drop Kid on the outside, Vision and Verse. Charismatic is beaten. Here's the finish. It's going to be tight. Lemon Drop Kid, I believe, held on to win it by a head. Trained by Scotty Schulhofer, ridden by Jose Santos. On the inside, Vision and Verse. It's a photo finish. Alberto Castillo Jr. finishing in the photo finish. Charismatic denied the Triple Crown. The final time, 2 minutes, 27 and 4/5 seconds, and Charismatic is pulling up, and that's Chris Hantley off, and he's holding Charismatic's leg. Bob Lewis, the owner there, and just behind Wayne Lucas, the trainer.
And it is just the worst conceivable ending to see that shot. Of course, the race was a terrific race, won by a long shot, won by a horse at 29-1, and Bob and Beverly Lewis perhaps even unaware at this point as to the problem with Charismatic, who was pulled up about 150 yards past the starting line, who rallied so gamely and so valiantly, who looked at one point in mid-stretch as if he had a very good chance to win this race. And then as he overtook Silver Bullet Day out of nowhere, out of the clouds, as they say in the vernacular of racing, Lemon Drop Kid, Scotty Schulhofer is the trainer. When Schulhofer won this race with Colonial Affair in 1993, Prairie Bayou also broke down, and that put a big damper on that, and Julie Crone rode that horse to the winner's circle, Colonial Affair. And now we have a situation today where Scotty will exultantly go to the winner's circle, but yet everybody concerned right now about Charismatic and his condition getting all of the attention, Hank.
Scotty Schulhofer always believed in this horse. Not a lot of people listened. And then you had Bill Motts 55-to-1 shot running second. Here's the isolation on the isolated shot. As we'll see what happens with Charismatic, as you said, Al, takes the lead in mid-stretch. He ran a little bit quickly early, but Lemon Drop Kid goes right by her without too much difficulty, and it doesn't look like Charismatic is struggling particularly at this point.
And Charismatic is able to get to the finish line, but then Antley will know right there very shortly, as you have Vision Inverse number 2 and Lemon Drop Kid coming across the line, and their jockeys Gilberto Castillo and Jose Santos exchanging high fives, and it ends that way for Chris Antley.
And for the call of the 132nd Belmont Stakes, up we go to Dave Johnson. Dave.
Thanks, Al. And there is Shane Sellers. We just talked to aboard Unshaded. The favorite, Aptitude, moves into line 9-5. The choice here, Globalize. Bobby Frankel, who trains the favorite, Aptitude, looks calm. These are all 3-year-olds. They all carry 126 pounds. Once around the racetrack, they call this racetrack Big Sandy. It's hot here today. Impeachment is in. A roar from the big crowd as just 2 more left to load. And they are 2 long shots. Hugh Hefner is in, and the horse on the outside took Coda Hills. All set. The starter is Bobby Duncan.
Rick, waiting on you, Rick. Get tied on.
And they're off in the Belmont. Globalize hopped at the start and appearing now spots the field about a length as expected. There goes Hugh Hefner rushing up, grabbing the lead, taking the inside rail with Commendable into second position. And Wheel Away is up close in third, and Richard Migliore moves to the inside to save a little ground at that first turn. And as they swing around the turn, it's Hugh Hefner in front by a length and a quarter. And Commendable is in second position by about 3 lengths. Wheel Away is third. Postponed on the inside is fourth. On the outside, Dakota Hills is fifth. The rule between horses sixth. Appearing now is seventh. There goes Globalize moving up on the outside 8th. Unshaded is 9th. Gap of 2, Impeachment is 10th. And the favorite, Aptitude, is 11th and last as they move on to the backstretch. The first quarter in 24 seconds. Relatively slow. This track has been really fast this afternoon. Hugh Hefner has the lead and has company as Commendable inches up alongside. 2.5 back. Wheel Away in the orange colors is right there, and Migliore has a handful of horse. He's third and only 2.5 from the front. Dakota Hills is dropping back a bit. Globalize is gaining on the outside. Garul steadies a bit on the rail and is 7th at this point, followed by Postponed. Appearing now, Impeachment. Aptitude has 1 horse beat, and that 1 horse is Unshaded. 3/4 in a very slow 1:14.1 as the field moves to the far turn. And it's still Hugh Hefner on the inside and Commendable on the outside. Those 2 race as a team. Just off the 2 leaders. Wheel Away within striking distance is third at this point. Then a gap of 2 lengths. Globalize is fourth. Hugh Hefner is starting to drop back as Commendable takes the lead by 3/4 of a length. Hugh Hefner on the inside is fading a bit as Wheel Away moves to the outside. Globalize is next, and from the far back of the pack, Unshaded is flying. As the field turns for home, there's less than a 1/4 mile to go. Commendable on the inside has the lead. Wheel Away with the orange blinkers. Unshaded on the outside, and here comes Aptitude at the rail. And down the stretch they come in the Belmont. On the inside, it's Commendable digging in. 17th in the Kentucky Derby, but he's digging in. Commendable. Paquet aboard. Commendable takes the Belmont. Aptitude second, Unshaded third, and 5 farther back, it was Wheel Away. The magician, D. Wayne Lucas, pulls it off again. The king of the Triple Crown has another crown, and it's Commendable. What a ride. Pat Day aboard the 1.5 miles in a final time of 2 minutes and 31 seconds. Bob and Beverly Lewis on their way to the winner's circuit once again.
To win the Triple Crown, and can't with Silver Charm. They come in last year with Charismatic and can't.
They come in here with a horse that finishes 17th in the Kentucky Derby, has one lifetime win. That was in his first ever race last August at Del Mar. Hasn't won since. Goes off today at odds of 18-1, and in 2:31 with Pat Day aboard, wins the Belmont Stakes. And for Pat Day, he has now won this race with Tabasco Cat, with Easy Goer, and with Commendable. Pat, you can hear me, I assume. Congratulations. Tell me about the trip.
We had a wonderful trip. I talked with Mr. Lucas in the paddock. He said just try to have an energy-saving ride. We anticipated that Hugh Hefner would show speed off the outside. He said if you can get to the outside of him, sit and wet as long as you can. Exactly what I done. Congratulations, Mr. Lucas.
I cannot hear
great,
Pat, so
great job.
I assume. Okay. All right, let's go to Leslie Visser.
Al, Wayne Lucas said this morning, just when you count them out, that's when they do their best. Congratulations, Bob and Beverly Lewis. How does this compare to your other Belmont wins?
Other Belmont wins? You mean we ain't
I'm sorry,
none.
yes, that's right.
My goodness, we won 2 Derbies, 3 Preaknesses, and the elusive Belmont is finally ours.
And much more satisfying than last year.
Oh, yes, much more. We have to look like a well horse coming out of
What did you know about this horse going off at 18-1 that no one else knew?
Well, he's had a 5-week rest. We know, and I was absolutely convinced that showing that he had in the Kentucky Derby was not his race. And something just didn't click that day. And so he's primed, and Wayne is just that unbelievable trainer in that at that point in time when you possibly least suspected, wow, he nails it.
That's true, and I'll see you in the winner's circle.
Great.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
back to you, Al.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie. Well, there is Unshaded, who had made a big and powerful move as the horses turned from home, but obviously getting unsaddled out on the track and in some distress. We hope only minor at this point. We will obviously get an update. Here is Aptitude, who goes off as the favorite at 8-5. But makes a move at the end, comes in on the rail, but could not get by Commendable as Wayne Lucas wins his 4th Belmont. And there are the prices: $39.60, $12.80, and $6.30. You think they pay for some better bulbs for the Belmont Stakes. $3.80 and $2.80 for Aptitude, finishing second, and Unshaded winds up third. But right now he is being looked at very carefully, intended to on the track. There's the Superfecta at the bottom, $9,315, highlighted of course by Commendable, who wins this race, going off at odds of 18-1. So for Bob and Beverly Lewis, they had Silver Charm, but the third time is really the charm after what happens with Silver Charm and Charismatic. And now let's go back, and Hank, let's take a look at the key point in the race here.
Well, I think the key point is the tracking trip that the Commendable had. You see, as he goes by Hugh Hefner, who had the lead for a good 3/4 of a mile, but he takes over at this point and just goes on. And he was in a perfect spot. Only 5 of 27 Belmont winners have been closers. This horse, we talked about tactical trip. He got the perfect tactical trip. He was probably helped a little bit by the fact that Globalize had problems getting out of the gate. And so he takes over, gets the ground-saving trip. You notice that he stays to the inside. That's where he wants to be. Saved all the ground. And you can see at this point, Aptitude comes up the middle. And Aptitude comes up the middle, up the inside rather. But he just can't get there. He just didn't have the position. He came from dead last, but came up just like in his Derby race behind the winner.
Hank, very few guys, and we watched Pat Day for years, very few guys have a better clock in their head than Pat Day. Knew what the fractions were, knew exactly how much horse he had. Perfect ride. Let's go to Charleston with Alex Solis.
Alex Solis, Aptitude came from so very far back. There was not a lot of pace up there. Did that hurt you a lot?
It sure did. My horse, the first part, he was sliding a little bit. He didn't feel very comfortable. Going into the first turn, it was a little loose for him. And finally, we got to the backside. He leveled off and got himself in the race. And the other horse just, get away from us and down around the quarter pole. And he just beat us today. That's all.
Sorry.
A good effort for second, but Alex Solis, you've had a tough time in the Triple Crown. A lot of on-the-board finishes, but we'll get you up there on the winner's stand.
Just keep trying, and a lot of faith in God and myself, and we get it done sooner or later.
You'll be there.
Okay.
Alex, thanks a lot, and we'll go back upstairs.
And there's the happy trainer and jockey. Commendable did it for them.
Well, here we are with all the happy people down in the winner's circle. Just over my shoulder is Tom Sweeney, the executive vice president of Visa USA. One year, you guys got to give away that $5 million, maybe next year. And Tim Smith, the commissioner of the National Thoroughbred Racing Association. Kenny No, the chairman and chief executive officer of the New York Racing Association. I'd have to say that you've had a commendable day this afternoon. Huh?
Thank you, Jim. You know, the New York Racing Association and all of us here appreciate what ABC Sports has done for us. And I think the staff, the management, and the crew, and we really appreciate it. And a special thanks, Charles and Dave and Kurt and you, buddy.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Kenny. Time now for the presentation.
Well, it gives me great pleasure, not only to the Lewises who have been great for our sport, a very deserving award for the Belmont, and to Pat and Wayne, who are great credit. It's my pleasure to present you with these trophies and replicas.
Here they are, the big ones in the middle. Nobody can lift that.
You better take two hands.
Bob and Beverly Lewis. You know, I said a little bit earlier on the show that you never know what's going to happen on a racetrack. Last year you came here for victory and a Triple Crown, and you found only tragedy. This year you came with a long shot, a horse that had only won a maiden race, and you've won the Belmont. Congratulations.
Thank you. We're going to miss you, Jim.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim. Having had the pleasure over these recent years to have been in your company on many occasions, we're extremely grateful and wish you Godspeed in all your future undertakings. And we're so pleased to finally have our elusive Belmont Cup. You know, a couple derbies and 3 Preaknesses, but boy, this one just kept escaping us. But we've got it now, so
sure
we're thrilled.
Congratulations again.
We offer our congratulations to Wayne for an incredible job training. Commendable, and Pat, what a magnificent ride you gave that horse.
No question about it. Yeah, Wayne Lucas has won his 13th Triple Crown race. Over to you, Charlesie.
Well, when we look at the 39.60 on the tote board, you realize that hindsight is 20/20, but the Belmont is an enigmatic race, Wayne, and when you look for the conditions for this race, you got to go to a master who's done it all, and you had this horse right in the right spot.
Well, I think you have to look at what you're up against, and not only the configuration of the race and the distance, but I think you have to realize the field that you're faced with and then play the cards that were dealt. We felt that we had a horse that would fit this race very well today, and of course we were the only ones that believed that, but Pat and I felt that we could maybe take advantage of certain things, and I think we were able to.
As we look at Pat crossing the finish line here, Pat, you had the pace judged perfectly. You sat still and you knew exactly where you were, and you had a lot of confidence all the way.
Well, you know, Mr. Lucas and I talked it over in the paddock. We thought Hugh Hefner would show the pace of the speed. We just wanted to follow him around there, have a energy-saving ride, and kick when it counted, and he was there for me. My congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Lewis. Certainly my congratulations to Wayne. Great job. We're going to miss ABC.